Hello, my name is BJ Pesky. I'm a student advisor at Independence University, and welcome to my short tutorial on how to complete your APA paper template. In order to do this, I am going to be sharing my computer screen with you so you can see what it is I am seeing as I walk through the steps of completing this assignment. The first thing we need to do is log in to Canvas. As you can see, I have our Canvas login screen pulled up with the first name and last name and our password. So we're going to click login so we can log in. Now, if you want to, you can always remember your passwords. For me, that's helpful because I have a very short memory when it comes to my passwords, so I typically will always remember my passwords, but it's a personal preference. Do as you so choose. So from here, I'm sure you're familiar with this screen. We will want to click on courses, and then in courses, we need to left click with our mouse on the CSS 101, the Psychology of Motivation course. So we'll left click there, and then our course will pull up. Now we have the home page currently viewing at us, where we see our instructor, who's Karen Detweiler, our live sessions, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, our daily checkpoints. What I prefer to do, if you remember from your walk to class, is on the left side it'll say Home, Announcements, Syllabus, Modules. I like to click on Modules. This kind of gives the same information in a little bit different view. We are going to be working on the APA paper template. So I'm going to left click with my mouse to open up and select that option. This gives us a rundown of what the assignment is and what we need to do in order to complete the assignment properly. Within this assignment, if you scroll up, here in this middle paragraph that I'm highlighting, you will see blue text. Inside of that blue text, you will see an option that has a .docx. We are going to left click with our mouse on that selection. This is actually a downloadable file that we can use to work in that's already set up in proper APA format. We just need to adjust the actual content inside of this paper. Now, when this dialog pops up, it'll say Open with Microsoft Word. We want to do that, so we're going to go ahead, click OK. If you don't have Word, don't worry. You can always use OpenOffice, which is a free program that you can download and install on your computer. You can even use Google Docs as well. So there's a lot of different options to be able to complete this assignment properly. Now, once our Microsoft Word paper pulls up, as you can see, we have our document right here. We need to click on this yellow banner where it says Enable Editing. That allows us to actually work inside the paper. Now I'm going to make that all big to fill up my entire screen. As you can see, there's just some generic information like title of paper, your first name, course date, so on and so forth. And if we scroll down the page too, same thing. We got kind of just generic information in there. We need to find out what we need to put in for the title, and then obviously your first and last name, but our course number, our due date, our faculty name, or instructor's name. So we're going to start off by minimizing this screen. To do that, we're just going to click here, this little line, and it's going to shoot it down to this toolbar at the bottom of your screen. You'll see a bunch of little different icons. The one with the paper is the one with the W that stands for Word. So you can click on the W icon and that Word document pulls right back up. Easy peasy. So we're going to go ahead and minimize that again because in the assignment, if we scroll down, it has 3 pages that it wants us to work on. We have a title page, we have page 2, which is the actual paper, and then page 3, which will be our reference page. First page, title page. So let's see what we need to do. We need to put in a personal APA template as the title of our paper. So we'll come down to the toolbar, we'll open up the Word document, and right here, we're going to left click with our mouse before the T so that blinking thing, cursor, is going off, and then we're going to hold down that left click and drag from left to right, highlighting it entirely. Then we're just going to type in personal APA template. And there we have it, our personal APA template title. Now we can enter in our first name and last name. I'm BJ Pesky. Our course number. Now to find this, we can go ahead and minimize this. We can go to our assignment in Canvas, scroll up to the top, and if you follow my cursor right here at the top left corner in blue, it'll say CSS 101. It'll have this underscore or this little line and then a number following it. That number following it is your class section. Be sure to include that. It makes it easier. So we are in CSS 101 and then we have a 1. So that is CSS 101 section 1. Let's go ahead and enter that information in now. So we're going to come here and we're going to type in CSS 101 and then section 1. And then the due date, I'm going to use a hypothetical due date, and let's make it January 3rd, 2015. Oddly enough, that's actually a Saturday, which is good because all assignments are due on Saturday. So keep that in the back of your mind as well when you're working on your papers. The due date, everything due by Saturday. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull back up that assignment again that we were working in. So here we go. So we have the first part done. Personal APA template, we have our name in there, we have our course number in there, we have the date. Now we need the instructor's name. To find that, we can scroll back up, and over here on the left, it says home. We'll just click on home. Then the home will show up, and as you can see, our instructor is Karen Detweiler. So we'll go back down to the bottom, we'll left click on that W to pull up our paper, and then here we will type in our teacher's name, Karen Detweiler. Perfect. Looking beautiful already. Alrighty. Now we're not quite done with the first page, which is also known as our title page. So let's go back and let's open up our assignment again. So we'll come over here on the left side from our home screen. It'll say modules. We'll click on modules. We'll go to the APA paper template assignment. We'll scroll back down, and here under the page 1 title page, we've done this, we've done these, but we haven't done this. And this is the header. This is what we're going to do now. And the example given is running head, space, personal APA template. If you notice right here, that's all highlighted. This is all uppercase. That needs to be all uppercase, and that's what we're going to do now. So let's go back down to our paper, open that up again. Now, if you see, this is all in black right there. All in black. This is grayed out. I'm trying to type in there. I can't type anything in there. It's not letting me. So how am I going to do that? What we're going to do, we're going to left click with the mouse twice in rapid succession. So 2 times left click really quick. Bam. Look at that. Now this is all black, but this is grayed out. Well, that means that we can edit what's in black. We cannot edit or replace what's in gray. That's good because here we need to remove where it says short title here, all caps. All of this information, that's just generic. We'll leave the running head and the colon and the space, but we'll put the cursor at the beginning of the S, and we need to highlight this information so we can replace it. So to do that, again, we left click with our mouse, hold that down, that left click holding down with the mouse. We're going to scroll from left to right, highlight that all. Perfect. Now you can either hit backspace on your keyboard to delete it, or I choose to just type over it. So personal APA template. And look at that. All capitals. We got the running head. We have the title. Looking beautiful. Now to get out of the header and start editing back into the main body right here, we need to double click in any part of this section with our mouse. So we'll use the left click on the mouse and double click twice. If you notice, running head is once again grayed out. Can't type there. Chime. Not doing anything for me. But if I wanted to change this again, I'm back to being able to edit that information. Now before we move on, what we'll want to do is save the progress as we complete it. So to save our work, we're going to come up to the top left corner where it says File, and we are going to choose Save As. Now, here's a dialog box. First, what we'll want to do is name the file. What I would do is choose something simple. So let's choose APA, paper, template, and then so I know it's our assignment. Bam. Now you can choose to save it under your desktop, and this is the main screen, so it's easy access on your desktop. Or for schoolwork, I prefer to save documents under this heading where it says libraries. We see multiple options. I'm going to choose the option for documents. And then what we'll do from here, we're going to come down here to the bottom of the box, and then in blue it'll say save. We're going to click with the left mouse button, save. And bam, just like that, the document saved to our documents. Perfect. So page 1, looking beautiful, and it's all complete. Now we'll scroll down to page 2. At page 2, we still have a lot of work to do. We need to change the header. The header will be a little different from page 1. See, there's page 1. Page 2 will look a little different. We'll need to insert the title of the paper, and we'll actually need to put text in there that the teacher wants us to put in there because she doesn't want to see any of this. So we'll go back to our assignment, and then we'll come down here in our assignment. So page 2, what does she want us to do? She wants us to put the short title of the paper for the heading. Personal APA template, again, noticing it's all capital. So we'll go back to our assignment. At the toolbar, we'll left click on that little W, and then it's grayed out again. Uh-oh, what are we doing? Well, what we need to do, if you remember, that's right, we need to double click in that header. So now everything below the header is grayed out. Can't mess with this stuff, but we can mess with the header, and that's what we want to do. So here we're going to put in personal APA template. Looking gorgeous. So that's exactly how it should look. And then how do we get back to being able to edit in the body? That's right. We got to double click in the body. So now the header's grayed out, but everything else is black. This will allow us to actually go in and make changes to the body of this page. So first thing we need to do is we need to insert the title of the paper. What do we want to put for the title of the paper? Well, let's double check what the teacher wants. The teacher wants us to center the title of the paper, and for the title it'll say Personal APA Template. Perfect. So we'll go back down, open up a Word document. We will left click, hold the left click down, drag it over where it says Insert Title of Paper, and then we will insert the title of the paper that the teacher laid out for us. Now we need to get rid of all this information. If you notice, I've highlighted it all. Okay? Now to do this, like I've been telling you, we just got to go in, left click with our mouse, scroll from left to right, and then downwards. So we get everything in there that needs to be out highlighted. And then on your keyboard, hit the backspace button. Ooh, what happened? We have this reference stuff that came up on our page 2. Not a big deal at all. We can do one quick thing to make the reference information right here down one page. To do that, we're going to left click before the R. On your keyboard, you're going to hit the control button, which is CTRL. You're going to hit control, enter, and bam, just like that, it went from being up here in page 2 where it wasn't supposed to be back down to page 3 where we want it to be. So again, that was control, enter. One quick move like that, and it's from page 2 to page 3. So back up to page 2. Oh, we got the title, we got the header, no body. Well, we need a body. So let's find out what we need to insert for the body of the text. So we'll go back to our assignment, and then the teacher instructs us to put the following paragraph into the body of page 2. And that is this paragraph. Now to do this, I would recommend copying and pasting. If you want to type it out, feel free. But copy and pasting will make it a lot quicker for you. To copy, we're simply going to highlight, again, left click, drag all the way to the left, down to the very end of what we need to highlight and copy. Now to copy, you can do it one of two ways. A shortcut is to hit Control CTRL and then the C button on your computer. So Control CTRL and then C for Charlie. That'll copy that information. So you hold down Control, hit C. Or you can right click on your mouse and then hit copy. Whichever one you think is easier or best for you, go with that option. There's no wrong way. So we got to go back to our paper now. After copying that information, we have our cursor in line ready for us to paste. Now we have two ways that we can paste. One option is with our mouse, we can right click and it'll say paste options. There's keep source formatting, merge formatting, or keep text only. We want to merge the formatting so that way it'll be in proper APA format style. I'm not going to do that because there's another option to paste, and that's what I'm going to show you now. Up here, following my cursor, we'll see this box. It'll say paste. I'm highlighting it now, and there's this little blue arrow. We can click on that, and then if you notice, we have the same options. Keep source formatting, merge formatting, keep text only. Which one do we want to do? You got it. We want to go ahead and merge the formatting. And bada bing, we got that already pasted. So look at that. We have our header, we have the title of our paper, and we have the body of our paper that we were instructed to put in for page 2. So page 2 is looking fabulous. Page 1, great. Page 2, awesome. Page 3, needs a little work. We're going to do that next. But before we move on, because we have made changes, what do we want to do? Absolutely. We want to save. We don't need to save as this time because we've already saved the document to our computer. We just need to update it. So we can click on File up here in the top left and choose Save. Easy as that. If you want, there's also a little icon that looks like a old 1990s hard disk, floppy disk. You can click on that. So whichever one you're more familiar with, use that one. Not a wrong way. It saves it the same either way. Now we are going to be moving on to page 3, the reference page. Okay, if you notice on the reference page, we have our header. And if you see it, it looks exactly the same as page 2, as it should. We don't need to mess with that anymore. So that is good to go. So let's go to our assignment one more time. We'll pull it up. Now let's see what we need to do for the reference page. It says we need to center the title, references. Let's see if we got that. Bam. References, as you can see, it's centered. That's looking good. Okay, so we have that done. Let's go back. Then we need to put the reference in for the quote that was used in the above paragraph. Okay, so now we need to reference the quote that was used in this paragraph. They have it right here for us, so we don't need to do too much. We just need to copy and paste it. How do we do that? Remember, we got to scroll from left to right, holding down the left click button on your mouse, highlighting all the information, ending with the word skills, and then this little bitty mark right there, that's called the /. We'll include that too. So again, we're going to highlight Smith all the way down to that /, and then copy it. You can hit Control C for Charlie on your keyboard, so hold down Control and then hit the C button, or right click and hit copy. Just like that, we're good to go. So we'll come back to our paper. Now we need to first get rid of all this information. So how do we do that? You got it. We left click, scroll from left to right, make sure everything that's generic is deleted. Teacher doesn't want to see that. So just like that, that has been all deleted. So now we are ready to paste our reference information. How do we paste? Remember, right click, merge formatting, just like that. Or come up to the top left where it says paste, click on that little blue arrow. It's the middle one, and it says merge formatting. Either way, you're good to go. Whichever one's easier for you. Looks really good, but we're still not quite done. What? Yeah, I know. I thought we were done too, but if you notice in the assignment, there's this little bitty bullet point right here, and it tells us to make sure the citation has a 1/2-inch hanging indent on the second line. What's that, you say? A 1/2-inch hanging indent, and that's what we're going to do now. So we'll open up a Word document again. We need to re-highlight the citation, the reference that we are using. Now to do the hanging indent, 2 ways. First way, you can come up here where it says paragraph. To the right, there's this little bitty box. Got this arrow. Click on that, and then you'll see it'll say general, indentation, indentation, and then in indentation, it'll have a couple of boxes here. Then we have this one that says special, none right there. Well, there's this little arrow that gives us a drop-down box, and it'll say first line or hanging. We want to choose hanging. So we can do that and hit OK. And that'll create the hanging indentation. If you see in this little preview, it kind of shows you what a hanging indentation looks like. I'm going to show you another way, a quicker way in my opinion. And that is with it highlighted. So again, left click, scroll, left to right, down. We're going to right click. And then under where it says paste options, it'll say font. And then under font, it says paragraph right here. Left click with the mouse, choose paragraph, and boom. Just like that, we got that same exact dialog box. See, general, then it says indentation. We look to the right, it says special. Then we click on the arrow pointing down. We don't want first line, we want, you got it, hanging. Boom. Okay, and now we just created a hanging indentation. Our paper looks fantastic. But what do we need to do because we made changes? You've got it. We need to go back in and we need to save it, either using the icon up here that looks like a 1990 floppy disk, like I said, or we need to come to where it says File, click on File, and then choose Save. Now we have this completely saved. So we have our reference page looking good. We have our page 2, which is the actual paper. We got the header, we got the title, we got the actual body looking good. And we scroll back up and we got our title page with our running head. Everything's looking swell there. So we're good to go on all of those fronts. Now, just to be double safe, you see this squiggly line? That's saying that this word is misspelled or the computer doesn't recognize it. One thing you can do is right click on your mouse, and if there is a suggestion, it'd have it listed here. But because it's a person's name, it won't have one for us. Or you can check spelling by coming up to the title, and there'll be an ABC with the check mark, and you can left click on that, and then it'll give us this dialog box. Well, because it's her name, we know we spelled it right. We can ignore that once. And again, with this, we can ignore that. We can ignore that. We can ignore that. Okay, that's all good. The reason it was showing us these is just because of how we use the citations. So that's all good to go. Nothing was misspelled. So that's always an option that we have. You can always spell check your work. It's always a good recommendation for us. So we have all 3 pages. Everything's looking fabulous. We're going to save it just to be on the safe side. Can never save too much. Remember that. Just like saving money, you can never save your documents too much either. Okay, so what we need to do now is we actually need to submit our work. So we'll minimize that and we're back into our assignment. How do we submit our work? Well, it gives us instructions at the end of the assignment on how to do that. I will show you. We'll scroll back up to the top. As you can see, I already had something turned in. So I'm going to have a view that's a little different than yours, but the premise is still the same. Right here, mine says resubmit assignment. Yours will say submit assignment. So you just click on that, and I'm going to continue, but for you, it'll just pull up this box down here at the bottom. It'll say file upload, and then it'll say upload a file or choose a file you've already uploaded. Well, we need to choose a file. So to do that, we're going to click on where it says browse, and then we need to go to where we actually saved the file. If you remember, some of you might have saved it to your desktop, and then you would want to find it, whatever you named it, and select that file. So if it was here, you would select that one. But for us, I said we should save it under the heading of libraries and then the folder documents. See, documents library, we're looking down, and there we go. APA paper template assignment. That's exactly what we want. So once we have that selected by left clicking, we're going to choose open. And then we're opening it. Now to submit it, you would actually click submit. Since I've already submitted it, I'm not going to do that, so I am going to actually cancel out of that. So that is that option. Now before I wrap up, if you have any questions, feel free to always contact your student advisor. We are here to help, but there is another option you have as well, and that's what we're going to show you now. On the left side where it says home, announcement, syllabus, click back on modules. And then I want you to scroll down, and it'll say Student Success Center. You're going to left click on that. And then if you remember from Walk to Class, we have this website popped up. This is our Student Success Center. This is where you can get tutoring help for whichever class you're in. So for us, we are right here, CSS 101. We will left click on that. And first, it lists the times that tutors are available. Very helpful. If your student advisor isn't available, this is a great option, and it's a really good option to get in the habit of using the student tutors just to make you more familiar with them as time progresses. So you just click to enter, and then just like that, you have student advising help with a tutor. So there you go. Now we have our paper submitted. We know how to get to the tutoring center once again. With that, that will conclude our tutorial for today. It has been a pleasure working with you. I hope you had as much fun as I did. With that,